So I'm homeless, living at the Salvation Army, and this phone is my life, my lifeblood, my connection. It's my heart, and every day is like a battle where you gain some ground or lose some ground, etc. Because I lost a charger, then I found one, and then I lost that one, but then I had a friend buy me one because he had a gift card, and then it broke kind of, but then I was able to use a rubber band to kind of fix it, but then I ended up breaking it more because I kept bending it so much, and then blah blah blah. But then I found an old box that actually matched it, so I acted like I just bought it and tried to return it, and I was able to exchange it, and this one kind of works, but now maybe it's a problem with my phone. So I try to charge it at the library, and man, I fight. Not only, and then there's the data. You know, you lose your data, you get it back for about 10 days, and then you use it all up again, so then you're trying to go where there's Wi-Fi at the library, and blah, blah, blah. Man, I tell you, it's tough getting your message out to this world. But today was kind of on the up and up. Man, I was just reading over one of my posts that I just really got out in an angry kind of tirade and talked about some stuff that I really don't, is not popular yet. I'm already in super fringe kind of communities, but some of the stuff that I advocate, we'll put it that way, is even gets me banned even from there. But I wrote a good article, just said no filter, blah blah blah, talking about this kind of thing I did that had had some success, and it went good. I was rereading it, and I was just like, God, this is a really quality, really good writing for something, especially that I just cranked out there. I was expecting it to be sloppy. And I don't always even read my stuff, reread it anyways, you know, but I visited the webpage or my blog, and I was reading it, and I was like, man, this is just really good stuff. So I just feeling good, you know. Anyways, yeah, working things out with my dad and whatnot. Beautiful day. Going to get supper right now. I'm looking forward to watching the Trump some tricks. Man, I'm a big euchre guy. And euchre is really, that's total Swipple stuff. That's white people stuff. They're playing euchre. You know, it's like diet spades. You know, I've been to jail a lot, so, you know, whenever people are talking about playing euchre, I'm like, yeah, I know how to play euchre, but, you know, it's an easy game. It's like diet caffeine-free spades. Spades is the real game. But, anyway, so we're going to get a meal now. I don't know, trying to figure out where I'm going to go from here. I want to get a job. I forgot to look up Ramedy. That's what I was going to do. It's kind of like a temp service and whatnot. I'm playing that game where I'm on a methadone clinic, and my insurance pays for it. I have Medicare, and I have Badger Care, and I don't want to lose that. So I don't want to work too much. If I make more than $950 a month, I lose my health insurance. And I can definitely live on $950 a month. My last apartment that I was at for 2 years that is getting bulldozed now, so everyone had to move out. But that was only $250 a month, utilities included. So, you know, I'm not driving right now. I'd like to get my car fixed and whatnot, but you know, basically my point is that I can definitely deal with working just part-time and then spending a lot of time working on my blogs, my book, other things like that, trying to actually get some things that make a little bit more money, but my podcast, my YouTube, all these things I love and I care about, and there's some local types of blogging things that could really take off too, but I gotta really get a system down, a production schedule, and stick to it, because then it'll make it worth it, you know. So yeah, I really want to find some sort of a part-time job in a restaurant, because the restaurant I was working at, it was so slow that they basically just kind of stopped scheduling a bunch of people, myself being one of them. But I'm hoping that actually I might be able to get put back on that schedule once some of the kids leave for college. But either way, there's like an Applebee that says they're hiring. I always like working in little chains like that. I loved working at the Olive Garden. So many hot girls your age and just fun people, and it goes by really quick. They're always good restaurants that actually have their act together compared to these little mom and pop type places. So we'll try applying there. We'll see. It's for a cook. I had a call back for an interview once before there, but I ended up getting a different job. But my friend Patrick, who should be getting out of prison soon, he worked at one, and man, he is a piece of work. He's a great guy, but as far as jobs and stuff, if he can work there, anyone can work there. So I think I'm going to try applying there tonight. But yeah, what else do I need to focus on? I want to get shit figured out with school. Am I going to be taking a Java class? And I want to write a big thing to my dad explaining what my plan is, because he just doesn't understand it. He is trying, though, and I appreciate that. I'm realizing that he's really messed up, too, that his childhood was rough, and that he is an addict in his own way. He's a workaholic, and he, the way he works is unhealthy. It's not just a matter of, oh, I'm a workaholic. Yeah, a lot of people say they're a workaholic, but he fills his schedule with busy stuff to keep his hands busy, because he doesn't want to have to think about the things that bother him, and that's not healthy, and that's why I've kind of started getting to the point where, as much as I'm angry at my dad, I want him to help me. I want him to make up for all these things he did and realize all these different things and change. I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting kind of okay, and I'm more concerned about him and helping him, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and all that other stuff. And the one thing that he's fine with is financially, so it'd be great if he would, like I said, $250 a month is what my rent is. It just is like, he doesn't, like I was just saying, he is so stuck in one thing. He's never learned to think and to be logical and to figure things out and to find out what the truth is and to weigh things. Instead, what he does is just kind of looks at a person who, hey, that's a person that's doing good, that's the type of person that knows what's up, so I'm just going to listen to what they think and just kind of emulate that. He doesn't, which is a total logical fallacy, obviously. That's the opposite of how I think. Anyone, no matter who it is, I realize that it has no bearing on the truth, because there's another person that will be doing just fine as well, that will completely disagree with that. Doctors, for instance. I argue with a doctor of mine, or I disagree with him very fervently about things, and people would say, how can you argue with him? He's a doctor. Well, I could find another doctor who would completely disagree with him, so that is not a good argument. But yeah, so my dad is just very, very narrow-minded. He would just really have me get some sort of a labor job, making like $10 an hour, but working a lot, working like 55, 60 hours a week. And what I would do with that, I don't know. That's him. He just staying busy, just working, blah, 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 so you don't have time to think about anything. But that's not me. I do good thinking about things. I think a lot. Sure, I've learned some of his behaviors. I don't like to think about things. I like to avoid them and bury them and use drugs to not have to deal with them, just like him with the workaholic thing. Painting, for instance. He paints. His girlfriend was telling me the other day about how that's therapeutic to him, so he doesn't have to think about things. He just loves, he'll painting apartments, not art, but like just paint, just go, so he doesn't have to think. Yeah, I'd really like to help him, and he could help me, and we could have a much better relationship if he'd get over that. But yeah, I am different. Instead of doing stupid, mind-numbing things, I would do better to do the opposite, to have my time completely free to myself, to sit at the library and read. I was looking at all these book titles and stuff, and I was just like, man, that is so my thing. I always feel like I'm kind of on the verge or the cusp of really important breakthroughs, and I am. These last couple of years have been transformative, and I was just listening to this thing about philosophy of science the other day. It was a podcast that's completely unrelated. It was actually a men's rights podcast, but they were talking about science, and the guy was just he was criticizing kind of the very foundation of, I think, materialism and naturalism, or at least the way that scientists have gone about and kind of had these pre-existing kind of, I don't know, perspectives that aren't based on anything. And that's fine to have them, but to not realize that, you know, these things are not justified, that you already have them, that is a problem. Well, anyways, that's it for today.